Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome back to Family in Focus here on PHLV Radio and also live on Facebook on the Asian Community Development Council, ACDC, which is presenting this program on PHLV Radio. Good to have everyone with us today. As you see on the title, it's about parenting success. We know over the past year, it's been such a challenging times for so many families out there, so many parents who are not only, dealing with what's happening with the pandemic, but what their kids are going through as well, especially with remote learning and other issues that come with being in quarantine. Of course, now things are starting to change a little bit, but still, the concerns and worries of parents never go away. But there are resources and tools out there that we want to make sure that parents know about, especially those in the Asian American community. And today we have some special guests to talk about this very issue. We have with us Danelis Acosta. She is the Common Sense Parenting supervisor with Boys Town, Nevada. Thank you so much, Danelis, for being with us today. Such a great organization. We also representing on the parent side, we have Roseanne Apolito, and she's also the health services manager at the Asian Community Development Council. She's going to be sharing a little bit about her experience as a parent, what she went through with her kids, too, being teenagers. So definitely tough times for parents like Roseanne. So we're going to bring Roseanne in just a little bit, but I want to start with you, Danelis, and thank you so much for reaching out because you really wanted to get your message out to the Asian American community here across Nevada, not just in Las Vegas. So first, talk to us about Boys Town. If people don't know what Boys Town is all about, tell us about your organization.
Hello. And Boys Town, we've been in Las Vegas since 1991, actually. So since 1991, we've just been serving the community. We help out parents with different behavioral management and behavioral strategies that they can use with their children, as well as just connecting them to other resources. Luckily for us right now, we're able to expand that into the whole state. So that is a service that now we're bringing forward to the whole state to kind of give them that support that they're looking for.
And I know Boys Town, I think it started not just as parents, but you're looking at kids and just talk about that, the kind of like services that you give kids in general as well, right? Even before the parenting factors come into play.
Right. So one of the services that we have are the parenting classes, which we concentrate on teaching parents different social skills and even coping mechanisms that they can teach to their children. As we know, especially right now with everything going virtual, it's really hard to help kids cope with what's going on. So that is something that we address during our parenting classes. And we also have behavioral health clinic, actually, which if you need to bring in your child because you want to get some type of kind of just to check in how they're doing and everything, you're able to do that through the health clinic. And along with additional programs that we have that do give parents more one-on-one help and help them focus on the different things that they want to work on with their family.
So what are you seeing right now? Obviously, with the pandemic, ongoing, people are still dealing with that. What are you seeing within families, the dynamics, the challenges, especially for parents right now?
So right now, one of the hardest things is to even try and get the children out of bed. As simple as that may sound, that is one of the challenges that we're seeing the most. So just making sure that we're still praising the children for those times where they do get out of bed and reminding them that things might change and preparing them for those changes. That's what is important. Every day is a different day right now in the COVID world. So we try and prepare families for that as well, along with the children, and just helping support them and making sure that they have the information they need so they can help their family.
And talking about the information, what you're offering right now, what we're trying to get out is that you're offering these virtual classes. So talk to us about this, because this is ongoing. And what's more important is it's free for all the families out there, right?
Yes, definitely. That is a great point. The classes are completely free. You don't have to pay anything. There's no waiting list. So you can just go online and register for the class. The class is only once a week. And each week we cover different topics, such as social skills, how to apply consequences, how to praise children, and how to help them cope and kind of stay calm when they are upset, right? So those are things that we cover in a span of 6 weeks. And you can simply just go online, register for a time that works for you, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah. And then, we're seeing some of the information up there, and we'll put it up throughout the program, where you can call, your email, and also the website for Boys Town as well, because this is such great information for so many families who are maybe just not, going through all the challenges thinking that they're alone. But I think one of the probably the pluses of having these things right now is that families can connect, right? And they can talk to each other during this class.
Definitely. Yes. The class is very interactive. You get a chance to do some role play. And as well, we connect you any additional resources that you might need in the community, either that be food pantry, diapers, anything like that. We also help connect you with that.
Oh, that's great. And that's good to know. We're having that website if people want to get more information, boystown.org/CSPNV. I wanted to bring in Anne now, Roseanne Apolito. She's the health services manager at ACDC, but also a wonderful mom. She has 2 kids. One's almost 13, and she also has a 15-year-old. So talk to us about the times that, what you've been going through this past year, because it has been kind of tough for your children, right?
Yes. It's supposed to be, I have a husband, but it's like I'm a single mom here in Nevada. My husband is a civilian contractor, so he's not with me right now. The problem is my kids just went here not too long ago, like sometimes in 2017.
Yeah.
And what happened is it's really hard for them to adjust. And when they are adjusted already, this pandemic happened, so it's really hard for my kids, especially my daughter. So right now she's having an anxiety because with her age, she needs a social interaction, but because of distance learning, so she can't meet her friends, and not enough learnings from school. So yeah, it's really hard for her.
And, you guys immigrated from the Philippines, right? And it is kind of shifting to a new culture, a new country. I'm sure that hasn't been easy as well.
Yes, that's why my daughter, she's always telling me, Mom, we're just adjusting, and then this happens, and it's really hard for me. And she can't meet her friends, and she said it's really hard for her to learn because of this distance learning.
And so what have you been doing and I know your husband working overseas, and you just kind of, balancing your work and having, with your children as well. What's been kind of helping you? What that's been kind of working for you and helping your kids?
It's about time management, and my kids are still my priority. So yeah, and I'm making sure that I'm attending with their needs, especially with school. And right now, she has a therapist that helped me for her to cope up with what she's experiencing right now.
Yeah. And Danelis, hearing Roseanne's story, this probably is something that you hear all the time from parents. Right. This is not uncommon, right?
Right. Very common indeed. And therapy indeed is a huge support, and it's a lot of help. In Boys Town, even when kids are already in therapy, we also give the parents additional supports. We help them create a routine. Oops, sorry, my computer just locked me out. We help them create a routine at home, just so the kids have that structure and they're able to kind of have a set schedule every day, because that's one of the causes of anxiety as well, not knowing what to expect the next day when they wake up. So that is something that we work on with parents as well.
Yeah. And when you have classes like this and parents like Roseanne who come and join, what have been their reactions and how have they seen kind of changes, like just talking to other parents and kind of sharing their stories?
No, it is great. I always like to hear the stories, because a lot of parents tell me, I used this skill and you know what, the first week it didn't work that well, but I tried it again the second week and I was able to notice a difference. And my kids were a little astounded because they did not believe that I was kind of doing things differently. And I do get very positive responses from parents, but it's always nice for us to look back at parents that we had a year ago, parents that we had 6 months ago, and see that the skills that they learned then, they're still applying them and it's still working for them even months or years after.
And I know you've been trying to really reach out to Asian American parents like Roseanne. And Roseanne, tell us a little bit about that. Is there something at dynamics within Asian American community or just among your friends and family that, do you not reach out for help as much, or you think, in the Asian American community, or you want to, but you just don't know where to go and what kind of resources are out there?
Yes, it's really hard. That's why with Asian Community Development Council, we're
Mhm.
making sure that we did outreach and spread the words. So same thing like your organization, Danelis, it's much better that you will like what you're doing, spread the word, because we don't know that there is a resources like that. And yeah, that's one of the problems also, that
And how do
we
you
don't know that you're there. Or
Yeah, just knowing that it's out there and just hearing about that and about the class. Do you think, Roseanne, this is something that you think will help? I mean, just to have these kind of virtual classes, just to hear what other parents are going through.
yes, especially right now in these hard times. Thank you, Danelis, for helping us parents and kids. And yeah, it will really help us for sure.
Yeah.
No,
And
thank you.
Danelis,
Thank you, Roseanne.
yeah. And why do you think it's been such a challenge? I mean, I know that's your goal, is you want to reach so many communities out there, but sometimes you can't get to everybody, right?
Right. And I think one of the challenges is what you were mentioning before, just parent engagement overall. We have different programs that we work for with schools, where we teach very similar skills to the staff at schools, and the staff at school teach it to the children. But what happens is there's some type of disconnect, right? So this is where the parents will need to come in. The parents will need to be that support for their children. And if we can get everyone to kind of just come together and share this information, then that's what will be helpful. We're not saying that you're a bad parent. We're not saying that you're doing something wrong. We're simply saying this is additional supports, things that you can add to your tool belt. And if you want to come and see a class and see how it goes, then maybe you'll find something new or learn something new that you can apply.
And I think having it virtually and open to parents across Nevada, has that kind of given more access to, and it's only an hour class, because parents are busy, right? They don't have
Right.
all the time in the world, but
Yes.
how are you making this so it's the most accessible for as many parents as possible?
So basically, before COVID happened, we were only doing the classes face-to-face, and our face-to-face class is 2 hours long. So we kind of cut that down. As you mentioned, we recognize that now with COVID and everything else going on, parents don't have as much time. So we cut it down to just an hour. And we also provide all the class materials to the participants as well. So they get to see what they're going to learn in the class before they even take the class. So they can read the chapters, they can do the activities as they're taking the class. And we believe that definitely made it more accessible.
Yeah, no, that's great information. And if you're just joining us here, as we're live on Facebook and also on PHLV Radio and all of its platforms, we're talking about resources and tools that parents can use, especially during this time of the pandemic, when they're going through so many challenges, especially with kids, a lot of them still in remote learning, a lot of them going through issues, different issues. And Boys Town, Nevada is one organization that's offering free virtual classes to help boost parenting success during this time. So if you have any questions or comments, definitely put it down there, and we'll definitely, like and share this with your friends and family. We also invited Roseanne Eppolito with the Asian Community Development Council to come join us today. And Roseanne, I want to talk to you a little bit, because your organization, ACDC, also does a lot for the community. And you also you have a message for people out there, not just parents, for anyone, when it comes to health insurance. So what's happening right now? What message are you getting out there for families?
Yeah, right now we have for those who uninsured Nevadans, if you don't have health insurance, Nevada HealthLink opens a special enrollment period, which runs last February 15. It started February 15 to May 15, 2021. So for those who missed the open enrollment last year, please call us or visit Nevada HealthLink's website at nevadahealthlink.com, or For free assistance, you can contact our licensed health navigators at ACDC at 702-489-8866. And our email address is info@acdcnv.org. Also, I can speak Tagalog. We have bilingual health navigators. I can speak Tagalog. For those Filipinos who's uninsured, you can contact me at 702-782-4482.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you, Roseanne. And Danelis, you don't need health insurance or anything. Like, anybody can join your program, right? For when it comes to your services.
Right. The only thing that we use health insurance for is just our behavioral health clinic, because we have actual doctors tending to the kids in there. But other than that, no, it's completely free. And also worth mentioning, it's not only for parents. If you are an aunt, if you're an uncle, if you're a grandparent that is taking care of your child, you're more than welcome to take our class. Being a parent is not a requirement. We also many times do classes for school staff, childcare providers. So if you are that person that's been thinking like, hey, maybe I just want to learn some additional skills, feel free to reach out to us as well.
Tell me about some of the classes that you're offering right now, or we will be offering in the future, so they have some ideas on what they can learn and some of the skills that they can get through Boys Town.
Right. So we have school-age classes, which school-age classes concentrate on ages 6 all the way to teenage years. And then we have a toddler class, which is nice because during the toddler class, you get to learn skills that you can use with little ones, because there's a difference, right? So the toddler class, we cover things like milestones, we cover things like timeouts, and even how to praise children and how to give them reasons, which sometimes is difficult trying to help the little children understand the reasons, right? But that is something that we cover during the class as well.
And I think what's really important to point out with Boys Town is that all the work and all the, the resources you're giving people, this is all evidence-based, right? It's all been researched.
Yes, it's all been researched. Again, we've been in Nevada since 1991, but we have been in Omaha over 100 years. Mm-hmm. And right there, we have our own research hospital. So all the material that you learn in the class, it's evidence-based, and everything has been done multiple times.
Yeah, no, and it's a great resource. And this is open, it's virtual, it's free. Every 2 weeks, there's a new class, right? And people can just go online to get information anytime.
Yes, we update our schedule about every 2 weeks, so you're able to go online and see all the upcoming classes.
That's great. Hey, before we go, Roseanne, I want to bring you back in here as the mom and a parent. You've been through a whole year of this. What have you learned? I mean, what are some of the lessons that you might be able to pass on to other parents out there, especially in the Asian American community?
Well, reach out to the organization who can help you. And make sure that you have time, and still the kids are priority. You need to talk to them and ask them how they are every day. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I've met your kids and they're great. And so I know you're a great mom as well. So I wish you the best of luck. I know you'll do great. And Danelis, any final words, anything you want to make sure we get out there for people to reach you and get more information?
I think our website is definitely the best source, which I think you guys will be putting up on the page. But again, as a parent, you don't have to have all the answers. So that's why we're here. We can help you kind of fill in those gaps or just get additional tools to what you're already using.
All right. Well, thank you so much to Danelis Acosta with Boys Town, Nevada, talking about the resources that you can get. And we'll get more information for you here on the screen, so you can find more information on the Common Sense parenting class ongoing virtually for anyone across Nevada to get access to people like Roseanne Apolito. Thank you so much for joining us today as well, and best of luck to you. And thank you for watching us on Family in Focus on this Monday. We'll be back next week with another great topic to touch on here, right on this show on PHLV Radio and on ACDC. We'll see you next week.